Welcome to BNJ Live here on Blog Talk Radio. And now, here's your host, who has her hand on the pulse of America, Ruth Bryant White.
Thank you, everybody. Look, thank you for joining us today on Breaking News Journal on Air Radio. Today's program is brought to you by www.panthertechit.com, and that's www.panthertechit.com, and that tech is TEK. Also, today's program is brought to you by www.goingplacestravel.vacation.com. Again, www.goingplacestravel.vacation.com. Now, Panther Tech is a business in Phoenix, Arizona, the Tucson, the Scottsdale area, and you people out there who need your computers worked on, there's no better small business to support than Panther Tech when it comes to keeping your computers running. And for Going Places Travel, for those who have causes out there that want to be supported without selling things or doing bake sales or cookie sales and stuff, goingplacestravel.vacation.com is the place you want to go to be a certified travel agent. All the places that you're going already around the world, you can do that and get paid for doing it. And when you go to the site, you can join us and you can become a certified travel agent, and then you can go about your travels. Today is a very special day. We have a very special guest on that's going to be on today. She's gorgeous. She's a twin. She's a 2014 winner of the Nevada Mrs. America contest. She's dedicated to her causes, which she'll speak about. Let's give a hand to Mrs. Nevada 2014, Lavetta Schneider. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me, Ruth.
Hi, I'm so sorry for some of the technical difficulties we had earlier, but we're going to edit that first part out, and then we're going to, it's just wonderful having you with us because I've done some research on you, and you are one sharp person, and you're absolutely beautiful, and that's because,
Thank you.
And when I say that you're gorgeous, I'm not talking about your outside beauty, which you really are, but I'm also talking about the fact that your spirit is beautiful, and that's the reason why I say that, and you've done so much, and it's such a pleasure having you on because we've never had a contestant, somebody who's won a Mrs. America pageant and everything, so we're going to talk a lot about that, and we're going to talk about your causes, too. Okay, so I wanted to ask you a question. You're a twin, right, and your twin is in California? She's not with you?
No. I moved to Las Vegas when I was 24, 25, so we've been apart for about 8 years now, which it's been growing on us. We're both married now and very successful in both our careers, and she lives in Santa Monica, and we have a very healthy relationship.
Wow, that is so wonderful. Now, you are by trade a hairstylist, and this is so unique. Because we all have to go get our hair done. Then you guys keep us looking beautiful. So I wanted
That's
to
right.
find out, and I know our audience wants to know how you got into your hairstyling. I know you've worked with a lot of celebrities. You can talk about that and how you moved up the ladder from being a hairstylist and then moving into the contestant, becoming a contestant and winning in Nevada.
Yeah. Actually, I started doing hair back, I would say about 13 years ago. My twin sister and I did a lot of acting and modeling when we were younger, and by doing those awesome activities we did in California, I was more interested and intrigued with the people who were doing my hair and makeup, and that's kind of how it all began. We were on the Jenny Jones show, and I don't know if you remember the Jenny Jones show in Chicago.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Way back when nobody wanted to be on that show, but we went on that show for a coast-to-coast twin makeover to get untwinned, and we were sent to New York City, and I had my hair done by Edward Tricromi and Joe Warren, co-owners of Warren Tricromi Salon, And that just really set my heart on fire for the industry. And after that, I decided to get into the hair industry.
Wow.
But my twin sister didn't. I remember telling my twin that I was going to do hair and go to hair school or beauty school, and she said, well, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I don't know what you're going to do, but this is what I'm going to do. So I think from the beginning, we've always known that we had separate paths, but I found my passion earlier than she did.
Wow. So tell us, I mean, you obviously were in the talk show circuit at around the same time my husband and I were on the talk show circuit, because we remember Jenny Jones and Sally and all those guys and everything
Sally.
like that. Is that we had taken all of this stuff. It's like we're dating ourselves, but that's okay.
Right, it's okay.
When you obviously got, tell us some of the people, the celebrities you started working with. When did you get your first job? How did you start getting into the entertainment industry to start doing the hair for the celebrities you were working with?
Gosh, the journey, it honestly, looking back, it seemed like it went so fast, but going through it, I think that's just like, you look back and it's like, wow, it went quickly, but actually going through the steps, it was a long process, but it seemed like it went by quick. I originally, right after beauty school, I called up Edward Tricromi, the man who inspired me, and from the beginning, I called him and I told him that he had inspired me, and he happened to be opening up his first West Coast salon and offered me a position to come assist him and the stylist there in West Hollywood. And I took that opportunity and I ran with it. And it might, at the time, you're so excited. I was so excited, but at the time, I was, back then, minimum wage was really, really low. I was making like $6 an hour, sweeping hair, washing hair. It really was humbling. Now that I look back and seeing where I am today, you definitely have to take those steps and work up the ladder to be able to do the clientele that I had and the credentials that I, through it all, God pretty much paved the way. I just had to follow it as much as sometimes I didn't want to.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So when did you get your? I mean, tell us who some of the people that you work with. It's not confidential that you of the people's hair that you've done, right?
Oh no, not everybody.
So whose hair did you like doing? Whose hair did you like doing the most?
It's funny. I feel like I should just have a YouTube channel or something and talk about the people I've met. Because when you're in the industry, I'm retired now, but when you're in the industry, you don't really want to say anything. Everybody's amazing. Everybody's great. Everybody tips. Everybody pays. Yeah, that's not the truth. Everybody's nice. However, I mean, when it comes to hair, I think people are very secured with their hair. But I've done celebrities where I probably won't ever want to do again, and then I have done celebrities that I will definitely make an effort to go run and do. I enjoy doing, I know out of all people, I really enjoyed Courtney Love when she comes into town. She was awesome. Everybody might be scared of her, but she's a hoot, and I love her to death. She's great. I've done Nicole Scherzinger, Jenny McCarthy, Britney Spears, Kim Kardashian. Let's go back to 10 years ago. I did what's his name, Billy Ray Cyrus. There were so many, Kid Rock, and all these people were, you're dealing with different personalities every day. You could, especially working in Las Vegas on the Strip, one day you could be doing a little lady from Wisconsin and then doing a celebrity the next hour. So you definitely have to switch gears with who your audience is and who you're talking to. And I think that was I would say a good tool while I competed for Mrs. Nevada. It definitely allowed me to know who my audience was and who I was speaking to every day when I did have that crown and sash on, to be able to relate to each individual that I came across with it.
You were in the Mrs. America pageant, and to me that is one of the classiest pageants of all of the pageants that I've ever seen or even heard about. Give us, now they were a few years back, maybe almost 15, 20 years ago, they were on ABC or NBC, I can't remember which one they would come out. They would be on every year. But I believe that TV has gotten to the point now that they don't want classiness. They want all kinds of trashy type of programs, and you can't get Mrs. America on those programs, on those channels anymore, whether it's for ratings or whatever. And that's the reason why we're launching the Breaking News Journal TV channel, so that we can have programs like the Mrs. America pageant or other programs where people like you can share your craft and your gift without compromise. What happened? I mean, how many pageants are there, and how does it even? How did you even get involved in this?
Well, again, it started with hair. I was doing a former Mrs. Nevada, and I had just recently gotten married. I had been probably 4 or 5 months married, and when I told her I was recently married, it was my first time meeting her. She, obviously wants to promote the system and planted a little seed, and why don't you compete? You're Mrs. You live in the state, and I looked into it, and that year it just happened to be, it was January, and I had a New Year's resolution to do more community service, and looking into pageantry, that's what it's about. It's about community service. It's about making a difference, and I founded my platform with my anti-bullying service and awareness, and even that, just suicide prevention. So I originally started with a seed, and then kind of watered it, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And I looked into more with the America system, like you said. It's class, it's sass, it's today's woman. It's, yes, 30, 40 years ago, they actually graded women on their housework. And today's woman works, and not all women have a career outside of their home, and some do make their house their career. So there's nothing wrong with either or, and they celebrate women and be able, to me, to be superwoman and do it all. So I was really excited to compete and actually be able to compete at the Mrs. America stage.
Was it hard? I mean, did you guys have like 18-hour days and things like that?
I think hard is an understatement. It was an emotional roller coaster, if you ask me. I was completely, I think I cried over anything. I was emotionally a wreck afterwards. I didn't make the top 15, unfortunately, but I did make a good group of girlfriends that I am now a part of, a nationwide ministry, women's ministry called Our Life Songs, and a lot of those girls are a part of the ministry. So, I look back and I'm like, what did I lose the night that I lost? And I can say that I definitely won in that way with this group of women and what we're doing now, spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I think that's a big win-win for me.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's wonderful, because I think I spoke a little bit to you about the contestants and stuff that you worked with, and the network that you guys have together. It's like a sisterhood that you all have in the ministry that you're having. Things like that are the kind of things people want to see on television that they never would get a chance to see on cable, or they never would get a chance to see on broadcast TV, because they want to sensationalize programs. Now, I remember when my husband and I did E! Entertainment during the O.J. Simpson trial, and we did CNN and things like that. And one of the things that we always did is we always prepared to do the program the way we wanted to do it, not the way the host wanted to do it, because they always wanted to sensationalize. They didn't want to help anybody. They wanted to sensationalize and wanted everybody fighting and throwing bottles at each other, type of thing. And we were they wanted Jerry Springer. Yeah, Jerry Springer type of thing. And it's like, no, we're not going to lower the standards of what God wants us to do here. And that's to reach people, and that's to change people's hearts and stuff like that. And that's the reason why I like so much what you've done. There are people that are celebrities that I know that I wouldn't even ask to come on Breaking News Journal, because what they represent and the things that they're doing, I'm not interested in. And to me, I don't care if you're a celebrity or you make a lot of money or you have a lot of money. It doesn't make any difference to me. The thing that makes a difference is that we make a difference out there in the world that we have, and that's the reason why we do that. So I wanted to talk to you about the anti-bullying. What got you into it? And the reason why I'm asking is because, both of us, our producer, Brian Breezy, and he was on last week on Breaking News Journal. And I know that the Thomas and Mack had a very big event the last
Tough
week.
Enough, yeah.
Yeah, prior. And you were there, and I think it was sponsored by the Tough Enough,
yeah.
mixed martial and martial arts and stuff like that. How did you get, I don't know who else was there, but I know you three were there, and stuff. So how did you get involved in that, and were you doing anti-bullying and they just contacted you, or what happened?
I actually met Brian and Teresa in Carson City. We were all testifying for SB 504. It was the governor's anti-bullying legislation, and we testified, and honestly, I didn't know which was harder, was testifying or hearing the testimonies. After listening to Brian and Teresa speak about their son, and unfortunately, in ending the torment by taking his life, it was hard to hear, and you really can. I mean, I can't relate to that pain, but I can feel it. Doesn't mean that I can't attain the knowledge on what they're going through. You can hear it in their voice, and I felt it. I can feel that cry that they needed that to get past. And SB 504 did get signed on May 20th in Carson City, so we were all celebrating that. And since I met them, I gave them my information. They contacted me for the Tough Enough event a couple weekends ago. So I helped volunteer with their Stop It Foundation to reduce teen suicide, and support the families that are dealing with that. So, and then also there was Jason Lambert and Jennifer that were there, whose daughter committed suicide in 2013. And again, we all met through anti-bullying legislation, and with my reign as Mrs. Nevada America 2014, I definitely reached out to as many people as I can to let them know that this title, I may be wearing it, but it's the anti-bullying awareness, the bullying prevention awareness. It was that spotlight I wanted on it.
And that was a good thing to do because, everybody almost all the contestants, I think we laugh about it now, but almost all the contestants that usually are speaking about a cause, they're talking about world peace and all these other things, and it's like,
Sorry, we're laughing. It's so cliche.
You know what I'm talking about.
And
it's like we want to do, it's like doing something, having something that you're actually doing. Even before you became a contestant, or while you became a contestant, or whatever, it's like that is important to the world, and we need to bring those things out. That's the reason why I was in media. I was in front of the camera for many years, but now being behind the camera and being able to make decisions is very, very important to me. And what you're doing is right in line with the people that we're working with. As we get ready to launch the channel, we got Kylie Basutti. I don't know if you know her or not, but she was a former Miss Victoria's Secret model, and Nicole Weeder. We're working on programs for them and stuff. And our son is an international fashion model. We have 4 grandchildren that are fashion models, and we're talking about doing programs that other people want to see, but they can't stomach on the programs that they're seeing now. Icky Woods with Cincinnati Bengals, he's got a Geico commercial that everybody loves that went viral and stuff. We're going to be developing a show for him for the Super Bowl and things like that. So we are working on major programs. I think that we need to get sponsors to come on board Breaking News Journal, so you can have a show, so you can host a show, you can have people that need to be healed that are dealing with bullying and that are dealing with bullying situations or attempted or even suicide or whatever the situations are. We need to have these things, at least a place for people to go, a place where they can see and hear other people's causes and other people's hurt and pain, so that they can start healing as well. You know what I'm saying? And it seems that's what you're providing. That sounds like what you're providing, and I like what you're doing out there, because it seems like Brian's situation, he had an actual situation where his son did that because of bullying. And then the guy who's in charge of the mixed martial arts, his brother committed suicide. I think it was due to depression or something like that. And then you're a mover and shaker in where that you're saying, okay, this didn't happen to me and everything, but I have the passion for it, and we need to stop it. Prevention type of thing. I think that's what we're saying here. Am I right?
Absolutely. I honestly, like, looking back and to what it is today, when I decided to compete, it was, I would say it was a small snowball, and it's just completely rolling down this huge hill, and it's now just completely snowballed into this bigger issue. And with SB 504, with just from the beginning of it not even being heard of, and seeing the difference that even a title or just people like Brian and Teresa and Jason and all these people who are actually affected by bullying and suicide related to it, it honestly does need to be out there even more so than it is today. It's, to me, I've always said this even to my family, my friends, people who know me, they know that, you know, I am definitely a believer in the Lord, and this has been, the evil's been a problem since the beginning of time, and yes, there's no way we can absolutely stop it. I mean, we all know how it's going to end. But at the same time, it's what we can do to make a difference now. And, I mean, there's a story, I don't know how much time we have, but I'll make it real quick, and it's a story of a starfish. A little girl was throwing millions of starfish that came up on shore, and she grabbed each starfish and tried to throw each one back into the ocean to save it. And a gentleman came up to her and said, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm trying to save the starfish." And he's like, "It's clearly you can't save every single one of these starfish." She said, "Yeah, but I made a difference for that one." And that's the thing, what I went with my platform is I may not be able to get into every school and maybe have lunch with each kid that's being bullied so they know they have a friend in me, but at the same time, I can touch the lives I am around on a regular basis, or even in the state or outside the state, on the internet, social media, blogs, whatever it is. If I can just grab that one starfish and save that child, or giving them hope, life, and love, it makes me feel fulfilled. I know God's using me in that direction, and I can't get overwhelmed with, I want to save the world, you know, and that mentality. But we do, especially when we want to make a difference. We want to save everybody we can come across. But at the same time, I know that I have to have that mentality of that I can't, but I can do what God has called me to, and He will do what I can't. And that's how I'm able to be okay with what I can do. And obviously, if that is an opportunity to get a sponsor for one of the shows for Breaking News Journal, I would definitely love that. That would be an amazing opportunity. So we'll definitely have to go out there and see what we can do to get that and achieve that.
Wow, that is an honor. I'm honored by you even making that statement. And I tell the people out there, I mean, you know, I love working with people like you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we're doers. We get out and get the job done, or whatever it is that we're called to do. And I like to see people's creativity, them being able to use their gifts and not them being squashed by contracts and all kinds of other things that can keep them from doing what it is that they're supposed to be doing. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing something totally different out there. When we launch with the right sponsorships and everything, we're going to be on Google Chrome, Amazon Fire, and Roku. And we're going to be listed with HBO Go and Hulu Plus, Pandora. We have producers all over the place, producers, directors, composers, and people like that, and you know, hairdressers, hairstylists, and makeup artists, and craft services and stuff like that. So you know, this is gonna be a labor of love. We're gonna be a team working together, and you may be able to have a group of hairdressers that can help all of our people in their productions around the country. We're just going to do a lot of things where we're working together as a team. And so it's just nothing like this has ever been done before. And when we get ready, so all you sponsors that are out there, all you people that love Lavetta and stuff like that, help her out by us getting the program done. And by doing that, they can go to www.breakingnewsjournal.net. and they can click the red slipper and make your contribution there, or you can call me personally at 702-260-4849, and I will, and we can talk about those kind of things and negotiate and stuff. But I want Lavetta to be in on all conversations that have to do with programs that she's going to do, because she's going to be the boss.
I'll be the boss lady.
You'll be the boss of your show and stuff like that. We'll just be there as executive producers, and everybody else will be working, because that way you have your creativity to do it the way you feel led to do it. And I know you're clean and you're decent, so we don't have to worry about you doing something crazy or having crazy guests on your program and stuff like that, because we'll be watching that. But tell everybody how they can reach you. If there's anybody who has a concern out there, they have a family member that they feel is suicidal or are dealing with bullying or something like that, how can people reach you?
Actually, I am a big social media buff, and they can find me on Instagram, Facebook. My Instagram's at Mrs. Nevada 2014, along with my Twitter. My email is mrsnevadaam2014@gmail.com, and I would love to hear from everybody listening. If it's just support, encouragement, or if you have, a child out there that is suffering from bullying, I will definitely write a letter and let them know they have a friend in me. I would love that.
Wow. And, then that's true, because I'll tell you what, when I contacted Mrs. Lavetta, she didn't know me from a Man in the Moon, and she contacted me, right away. She got back in touch with me, and I really appreciate that, because we need to be at a point in our lives. I'm not even talking about, I don't care how big you are. It's like when somebody needs something or somebody, contact you, you never know what that person is in need of and stuff, and to be able to help them. So I can tell you guys out there, she is very accessible and everything, and I know that she's going to do very well in the rest of her career and stuff, and all of the contestants that she's worked with. I look forward to us working together with all of those guys as well. Lavetta, is there anything else that you would like to say before we end the program?
Actually, I would. I want everybody also to know, because I am a speaker with Our Life Songs Ministry, we are a group of women who want to minister and encourage, inspire other women through our life testimonies, our life songs, through social media and blogs, and you can find us on ourlifesongs.org. And I would really appreciate that. That would be awesome.
Wow. Okay. So you know what, Lavetta, it has been a pleasure having you on Breaking News Journal on the Air Radio. We're going to get the first part of it edited so that we can start it off right and everything before we get it over to you. But it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much. And I know you're going to come back again. Plus, we got a lot of work to do in the future, so I look forward to us working together.
Same here. Thank you so much, Ruth.
You're more than welcome. I'll talk to you later. God bless. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.